What book or series is your Roman Empire?
Oh gosh. Well, I have to go with Lynette Noni as the author. I think, yes, the way that she writes characters is incredible. I think she studied like human behavior at uni, so she just
Wow.
understands the way people think and the way people act. And so her characters are just incredible. They're so in-depth, they have incredible backstories, and I just fall in love with them every time. Um, As for like which series specifically, that's a very tricky question.
It
I just
is.
say one of her series. Um, oh gosh. Potentially the Madoran Chronicles, I think,
Ooh,
was the first book series that I read from her, and like from then on, I was hooked. So I'll have to go with that.
nice. Good choice.
Yeah.
This then leads nicely into the second question. If you were on a desert island and could only bring three books, not including your Roman Empire, what would they
Oh,
be and why? So not including that first one.
okay. That's a great question. Um, I feel like I want to choose some like big books because that's
You
a
need
lot
to
of
kill a
time.
lot
I
of
have like
time.
only three books. Okay, I'm like looking at my bookshelf. I feel like, and so they have to be like individual books, not book series.
It can be any, just
Yeah,
what
but like I
three?
can't take three book
Yeah, no,
series.
just one of each.
Um, I
Or
think,
one of a whole trilogy if you love them.
mm, I have to go with A Court of Wings and Ruin.
Ooh,
I think that's my favorite one from the ACOTAR series. It's a big book.
it is.
Love the characters. I feel like I could just reread that a lot. I feel like I already do. Um,
You just need
yeah,
the desert island.
yes, exactly. It's a good excuse to read. Um, well, maybe I might chuck some other Lynette Noni books in there then.
Yeah,
The Whisper duology. So that's two books and then one Sarah J. Maas book. I think
nice.
that's a good combination.
Good choice, Ellie. What's your favorite genre to read and why?
Yeah, cool. I do read a bit of everything, but I love some romantasy. I love fantasy. I don't tend to, like I said, I read everything,
Mm.
but I don't tend to lean towards just romance or contemporary. So I think I like reading a fantasy book with a little bit of romance sprinkled in. Um, yeah. So I guess that's why as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like fantasy with a little bit of romance sprinkled in. So romantasy is kind of the perfect hybrid genre for me. And it's like becoming such a big popular thing now. So there's like
Yes.
lots coming through. All of the new books are romantasy, so I'm getting lots of them.
It's huge.
Yes, so good.
What would make you read your least favorite genre and what is it?
Yeah, okay. That is a good question. I don't know. I mean, I don't tend to read non-fiction books. Is that a genre?
Yes.
Um, I think the most likely reason I would read nonfiction is if someone that I know wrote
Mm.
it. But I guess it has the potential to pique my interest if it was about something that I was interested
Mm.
in, if I thought that it particularly applied to my life. But I tend to read to escape reality. I don't
Yeah.
think I think it would be pretty tricky to draw me into a nonfiction.
Do you choose to read a book based on your mood? I've heard a lot of authors say there are certain books they can just go back to and reread time and time again, no matter how much time has passed. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, I definitely read based on mood. I'm a huge mood reader, but there are certain books that I just keep coming back to. So anything by Lynette Noni. Um, I think ACOTAR is a big one. Like that's such a cliche answer, but and there are aspects I don't like about it, but
Mm.
it's so like the characters are just amazing. So I feel like I very easily just kind of come back to that world. And very similar things with Lynette Noni. They're just my favorite. Every time I read them, I love them. Um, so I think there are definitely books that I can just like slide back into. But I'm definitely a mood reader. Yeah, like I said, I read all genres, so
Mm.
I kind of sprinkle a bit of each genre into my reading. So
Do you
depending on
also
my mood.
do you also like have a few favorite childhood books that, you know, or just like early years that you might just go back to just for the, the nostalgia?
Yes, I've actually like books that I read as a kid in the
Mm.
library and loved, I've actually bought as an adult so that I could go back to
I
them.
know so many who do that.
Yeah,
They reach a stage in their life and they go on the hunt for the books they had and loved as a kid.
yes, yes, 100%. Some examples are like Lolly Legs is
Mm.
this little like 4 chapter long book. It's like this little 4 chapter book about a sheep,
Oh,
and it's the cutest thing, and I loved it.
that's
Um,
beautiful.
yeah, and Refuge by Jackie French. I'm on the hunt for that
Ooh,
currently, so
look
we'll see how
out.
that goes. But yeah, loved that as a kid, and
Yeah.
I don't think I ever got to finish it. So I think I've been on the hunt for it so that
Oh,
I can actually go back, enjoy what I liked before, and finish
now you'll
it.
finish it.
Yeah.
Do you read book reviews? And if so, do you read it before or after you've read that particular book?
Yeah. I do. I might read a couple before I start a book, but I think generally I do, or I might read a couple
Mm.
Goodreads reviews before I read a book. But then once I finish the book, I like going onto YouTube and
Mm.
hearing people review it verbally and talk about it and be excited over it. So
Mm.
yeah, a bit of both. I think
Mm.
I read a couple little short reviews, maybe look
Mm.
at the star ratings
Mm.
on Goodreads before I start a book. But then yeah, I like to once I've read it, I like to go hear people talk about it on YouTube.
Yeah, of course. Have you ever read a book review or heard a video that turned you off reading or buying that book?
Oh.
So was there a book you thought, this is right up my alley, and then maybe if you saw like a review, it sort of changed your mind or something?
Hmm. Okay, you know Light Luck
Mm,
by Alex Astor.
yes.
I'm still kind of keen to read it. It's like literally right here,
I
but
see, I spot it.
yeah. I'm still kind of keen to read it, but I did put it off because all of the reviews were like, she got a publishing deal because she made a pitch on
Yeah,
TikTok, but
I
then
saw that.
the book wasn't actually that good. So I'm like, did okay, I kind of want to read it to see
Mm,
what people mean by that, but it did lower it on the priority
mm.
list.
It
Um,
almost has the opposite effect too. Like if you hear a review like that, it makes you
yeah,
want to read it yourself to actually find
yeah,
out yourself. So it has like
yes,
the opposite effect in a way too.
yeah. I dragged my friends to see Madam Web because I wanted to know why everyone hated it.
Same.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Solid.
Um, if the writing of a book, let's say, is not very good, but you come away having felt something, do you then call that book a success? And is it a good book to you?
Mm. I've come away from reading a book saying it was a bad book, but I
Mm,
enjoyed it.
yep.
I think I'd probably lean towards that. I think if the writing was bad, but the characters are good, I can probably stay for that.
Yep.
Um, if the writing is great, but the characters are bad, I'm done. So I think there are books where I'm like, the writing was not on par, but still enjoyed it, still connected with it,
Mm.
still, yeah, liked the characters and enjoyed the experience of reading it. But yeah, no, I have come away from books going, it's not a great book, but I enjoyed it. That's what matters. So yeah.
Um, so in your opinion, you touched on this a bit just now. What makes a good story for you as a reader?
Yeah, definitely the characters.
Hmm.
I think, yeah, like you said, I've touched on it
Yeah,
quite
yeah.
a bit. Um, yeah, I think people come for the plot and stay for the characters.
Yeah.
I think characterization is the biggest thing because we want to connect with people, especially fictional people, because they're normally better than real people.
Mm,
Um, yeah, we come for the plot, stay for the characters. So I think that's the most important thing. But yeah, in terms of the writing itself, I
mm,
think obviously avoiding cliches, but also understanding that they're cliche for a reason, like they
mm,
they work, and so finding ways to kind of balance out what people like, but also doing it in a fresh way.
Mm,
I think that marks a very good writer.
mm.
But yeah, I think characterization is the biggest one.
Yeah. So if the plot like was lacking somewhat, but the characters were like, stand out, it would
Yeah,
be forgiven and you'd sort of like if it was a trilogy or something, you'd go on to the next one regardless. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would still notice that the
Yeah.
plot wasn't great, and I might mention, like, if I'm recommending the book to someone, I might say the characters were impeccable, plot not so much, but
Like
um,
here and here.
yeah. But I think, yeah, come for the plot, stay for the characters. I think that's the main, yeah.
Are you a Kindle or audiobook lover or a reader who wants the physical copy of the book or all of the above nowadays?
Um, yeah, no, I do read a little bit across all formats.
Mhm.
So I always have a book on Kindle. Well, no, I don't have a Kindle, but in terms of the Kindle app on my phone, I always have a book ready just in case I'm caught with only my phone, want to read. There's always
Yes.
something there that I can pick up and read. Um, but I do prefer to have the hard copy of the book. I read a lot on the train, so I love just having a paperback and just it's really easy to just pull it out of my bag, read, and then get off the train. Um, I do listen to audiobooks quite a bit. Especially if I'm like rereading a book, I like to have read the proper book the first time around, but then if I'm like, oh, I just want to get back into that world, I like putting on an audiobook and just having it there. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I do a little bit of everything, but my preferred format is definitely hard copy paperback.
Nice. Do you annotate any of your books?
No. Um, no, the most I do is I have like a little stamp that says from the library of Ellie Cooper, and I stamp my
Nice.
books with that, and that is it. I do not dog ear, I do not write on the books. I'm not too picky about spines being cracked. Like, I'm not that much of a perfectionist. If the spine is cracked, the spine is cracked. But yeah, I don't like annotating on the books.
I've taken to like annotating a bit because some of the books, especially with this series I'm reading, some of the words are like in Irish and other languages, and I want
Yeah,
to
so
know
you
what
like,
it means. So
yeah,
I'm
and you pay
sort of
attention.
like writing on the page what this means.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I think I could do it with like post-it notes. Like
Yes.
during my HSC, I went through and had like post-it notes all over the pages. So I could
Oh,
do that,
yeah.
but I don't like writing on the
It's
actual
precious.
book.
It's precious.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on BookTok?
Yeah. It's so good in so many ways, especially for authors.
Mhm.
I think, yes, being able to, like Alex Aster, for instance, being able to pitch a book on TikTok and then get a publishing deal, so good. And from a reader's perspective, it's been amazing to be able to find groups of people that like the same things that you do and recommend books and get recommendations for books. And, yeah, there's so many good things about it. But I've also heard a lot of authors talking about, um, because that's there as an option for marketing,
Mhm.
publishing companies are now expecting that.
Yep.
And so authors are getting book deals because they get popular on TikTok.
Mm.
And authors who aren't popular on TikTok are not getting book deals. And so it's like you need to have a readership before you've even been published. And it's just there's just this off kind of imbalance there that
Yeah.
makes it tricky. But I think, yeah, from a reader's perspective, it's really cool to be able to log on and see so many cool
Mm.
books. It does get a little bit frustrating when every single book is exactly the same. It's like, what's gonna happen. They're gonna be enemies, then they're gonna fall in love. There's gonna be like one bed or a very small cabin that they barely fit in themselves, and like it's gonna go from there. But no, it's cool to see what people are enjoying and what books are coming up.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think the book world has never been so accessible to
Mm.
readers.
Mm.
Um, or for people who get into reading that previously wouldn't have, to get into reading because it's such a big thing on BookTok. I think, yeah, there are so many good things about it.
Yeah.
from a reader's perspective for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I like how you touched on like the author's perspective too, because it is a double-edged sword. And like even for readers, you see now instead of like New York Times bestseller, what's taken that place is now BookTok sensation on the
Yeah,
cover. So now like readers are seeing that instead of like the other what they used to see. And it's
yeah.
almost like an instant like attention grab.
Yes. Although the other side of it, people are always wanting to swim against the stream, right? And
Yes.
so people will see, oh, this is popular on BookTok. I'm not going to read it then. And they won't read it just because it's been on BookTok. And so
Yes,
there is
it's a
the other
risk.
side of it.
It's a
I
risk.
think, yeah, that's the thing when anything is trending.
Yeah,
People want to go against trends or people want to be in trends, and then it becomes the only reason that you do anything. But
exactly.
yeah, no, that's a really good point
Yeah.
about the yeah.
What are your favorite books of 2025?
What have I even read this year? I got to get out the list. Um, what have I read?
Like just a
Gosh.
standout or recent.
I've read the most amount of arcs this year that I've ever read.
Ooh,
So
yes.
books before they've been released and I've been granted access to them. So that's been really cool.
Mm,
A favorite one though. Um, yeah, I think I read For No Mortal Creature as an arc.
mhm.
And it by Keish Chow. And it's like a blend of Inception and Wuthering Heights. I don't know much about
Wow.
Wuthering Heights, but Inception I do, and it's basically Inception, but instead of layers of sleep, it's layers of the afterlife. So you can die and then like die
Oh,
again and then die again and like go into different layers of the afterlife. And then the main character has this ability to like travel between the layers. And
oh,
so yeah, it
love
was quite a
it.
good read. And then I got to interview Keish about that, so that was really cool. I also read Swallow by Alexandria
Yes.
Burnham, which, um, yeah, obviously we both know Ali,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's been really cool to see that book. I also read that as an arc, but it's a genre I don't
Mm,
often fall back into, and so it was cool to kind of dive back into historical fiction, and it's so relevant to Australia as well. It's a story
mhm,
about a convict who a real convict who sailed to Australia
mm.
and escaped and kept going back to his wife, and so it's like this romantic tale, and it
Yeah.
was so cool to dive into that. So there's two standout books. I don't
Great.
remember anything else I read.
Shout out to Keshi and Ali.
Yes, for sure.
What are your most anticipated reads for next year?
Oh. Um, a big one is Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni.
Ooh.
I feel like that's a long-awaited book that's not coming until June.
Is she also sort of, is that a like a departure from her usual, was that
No, it's
YA? Yeah,
it's still young adult,
yeah.
so it's yeah, she's a young adult writer, and so
Hmm.
it's a young adult book, but it's got some form of vampire, and it's like properly enemies to lovers, as a lot of the other ones haven't really quite been that extreme, and so
Yeah.
it's very exciting. And she's been saying that it's like one of her favorite books that she's ever written, and it's got her favorite character that she's ever written. And given how good she is at writing characters, I'm like, this is wild.
Like, I am sold.
Yes. So that's probably my most anticipated read. Another one is The Vow of Eternal Night by Lily Crozier. And I just got the arc delivered
Oh,
yesterday morning, just in time for Christmas.
exciting.
So I'll probably read that in the new year. And that's a pretty anticipated read that's coming out in February. Um, I feel like those are probably the two main ones. Yeah.
Nice. They're great ones.
Yes. Looking forward to them.
What character from a story would you most want to step in another author's book and why? So another world completely.
Whoa.
One character.
Wow.
I thought of this. I can't answer this question because like there are so many options.
Yeah. There were so many places I thought that question was gonna go. Like, what
Me
character
too.
would you want to meet? What character would you want to be? And then you threw that in there. That's
Just
crazy.
the curveball.
Um, Okay, well, let's go Rhysand from ACOTAR.
Ooh,
Nice,
yeah.
simple, basic answer, but also spot. Or actually, let's go Azriel. Let's go
Oh,
Azriel from ACOTAR and pop him in. I feel like it's got to be a Lynette Noni book.
love that combination.
Let's put Azriel in uh,
What would happen?
Prison Healer or Modern Chronicles. One of them. Yeah. Let's put Azriel in the Prison Healer series.
I love this.
Let's do that. Um, I have no idea what would happen. I think he would. He's too mysterious, though. I feel like he'd just
Mm,
kind of be in the background
yeah,
being really
he'd blend in.
mysterious. Yeah.
He'd be like, I know this world.
Yeah.
He'd make friends.
He'd just be concealed in the shadows, just knowing everything that's happening. We wouldn't even know he was there. He could have been there. We wouldn't know.
Could be there already.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ellie. So that was 15 questions with Ellie Cooper.